I've sold over $300 million worth of real estate, and I'm gonna share with you the number one way to go out and start winning more deals right now. I'm not a big fan of bearing the lead in this. The number one way to win more deals is to build better relationships with brokers, and I can almost guarantee you that you are either doing this incorrectly or missing a crucial step that is costing you your next 7 to 8 figure deal. Let's break it down. Brokers control your deal flow. A lot of people want to think of brokers as a simple intermediary between a seller and a buyer, but that's the wrong way to look at it. Now, brokers serve many purposes, but a good broker fulfills two extremely well. Number one, to bring you a deal and to help you close it. And number two, to connect you with solid third parties and vendors that will help you through the life cycle of that deal. If your broker isn't doing both of these, or even just one, it's time to find a better broker to work with. Typically in multifamily, brokers are only going to represent sellers. It's not too often that you actually have a buy-side broker helping a client. It does happen. I worked on maybe one deal where that was actually the case. So when I'm talking about this, I'm talking about this in the context of finding a good listing broker and forging a relationship with that individual, and then leveraging that relationship for future properties, whether they are the ones who sold it to you or not. In this industry, relationships are money. If you don't help them along, it will come back to bite you in the butt later on. So the three biggest tips and tricks that I have to forge a better relationship with any given broker is to do the following. Number one, meet with them consistently. Two, to scratch their back when you're able to. And three, always honor the incumbent broker. Now, I've talked about this in previous videos, but it's extremely important to go and meet with brokers regularly. You have no idea where your next deal is going to come from. It can come from a big shop or it can come from a boutique firm. So it's important that you meet with everyone and not dismiss anyone given the name of the shop. You actually want to see how competent each broker is, but this is going to give them a good idea of how competent you are as well. If you spend an hour at lunch with someone or getting a coffee with someone, it's very likely that you're going to be able to exchange deal stories and talk a little bit about past experience. You're going to get to size them up, but they're also going to get to size you up. It's also extremely easy to become transactional if you're only ever talking to someone over email or over the phone. There's actually a different chemical reaction that happens in the brain when you see someone in person rather than on screen or just hear them on a phone call. And when you get super transactional with someone, it's extremely easy to leave them on read or to not reply to an email or to simply just ghost them. And I can tell you from experience that if you're not constantly in front of someone, they're not going to think about you when that next $1 million deal pops up. You're just not going to be the first person they think to call. I make it a point to drive out to the markets that we are looking to buy deals in every single month. Now for us right now, that's St. Petersburg, Florida. I might not live in St. Pete, but again, we've been investing there for over a decade. We know it street by street, and we have deep relationships with certain brokers we've been able to transact with. That being said, every time I go out there, I'm trying to tour a deal with a different broker that I like, and I'm also meeting new brokers. You need to meet with everyone that you possibly can. Take them to lunch, grab a coffee with them, book a round of golf if that's what they're into, book a fishing charter for all I care. You just need to be able to get in front of them and to start forging that relationship in a serious way. And you're not going to do it over email, and you're not going to do it over a phone call. Don't kid yourself. Go to where you're buying the deals, spend some time with them, meet with them regularly. If you can't do it monthly, you should at least do it quarterly. Otherwise, they're not going to think of you when that next million or multi-million dollar opportunity comes to mind. When brokers know that you're serious, you're easy to work with, you're going to be competitive, and you're around all the time, you're going to get the first looks at a lot of these deals. Those first looks are worth a lot of money. Now, the back scratching rule. This is my second point. You need to be easy in a transaction, man. You cannot nickel and dime people. I have to tell you, yeah, this industry is a lot about making money, but I can tell you one thing that a transaction is not. It's not about numbers. It's about people and it's about relationships. You have to leverage every single one that you can. The best deals a lot of times don't even hit the market. They pass from one hand to another before anyone even knows that they were up for sale. So if you think that you can be cutthroat or burn bridges or squeeze a broker for every last penny, let alone, oh my God try to take a piece of their commission, you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose in a big way. Remember, relationships are the currency of real estate. If you're not scratching somebody else's back, they're not gonna scratch yours. And finally, honoring the incumbent broker. This is so critical. A broker's entire business and their income is based around controlling a certain amount of inventory in their market. Brokers work extremely hard to win the opportunity to sell these deals for owners, and to not have a deal come back to them is a huge hit to their business. It's probably also the most rude thing that you can do to someone in this industry. I have never once seen this happen where the relationship between that seller and the broker stayed intact. It always disintegrated at that point. Now, there is something to be said about picking the right listing broker. There are several listing brokers out there that can sell you a deal that are not actually competent, and they're not good brokers, regardless of what shop that they're at. I have seen incompetent brokers at huge firms. I have seen them at small firms. I have seen residential agents be competent, and I have seen boutique young guys out of college know their shit like nobody's business. So the main questions you have to ask before deciding who to list your deal with on the back end are: was the broker who sold me the deal competent? Yes or no? If yes, proceed to the next question. Are they still in the business? If yes, that's all you need to ask. Go back and list it with them. They worked incredibly hard to get that deal, to bring it to you, and for you to close that deal with them. If you take that away from them, you're taking business away from them. They're not going to give you another opportunity to grow your business. I have seen owners throw away the opportunity to make millions on future deals by snubbing the broker that initially sold them the deal, who's at a boutique shop, to go and list it with a large firm. The firm is not what makes the deal. A lot of times at a large firm, actually, you're just going to deal with the junior brokers more than anyone else, and the senior vice president isn't going to have nearly as much time to work on that deal, regardless of what they tell you. Some will, but a lot of times it's the junior brokers, okay? So the firm is not going to determine how well your listing process and your transaction process goes. And think about it this way: the broker that sold you the deal already knows that deal better than anyone else, because they had to go through the due diligence period with you. If there were any issues that arose, they know them, they remember them. It's something that they stressed out about at night while they slept next to their wife. This is something that they memorized. They've already overcome a lot of the objections to the property. They've already overcome a lot of the problems that are going to pop up in due diligence. They know the hair. There's not going to be any surprises. They also very likely already know who the buyers of your deal would be. So yeah, give them the first crack at selling that deal. It's just good business. If they can't sell the deal in their first listing period and you don't want to extend with them, you know what? That's fair. And I've seen that happen, and those relationships were actually maintained, but they at least deserve the first opportunity to sell the deal. And that's it. It's really simple. You just need to remember that a lot of times the relationships that you build will determine the amount of success that you can achieve, as well as the scale that you can achieve inside of this business. So if you want more deals, you want more opportunities to win, treat brokers like partners, not just middlemen. Reward loyalty with loyalty, and build relationships before you need them. Because in this game, the ones who play the long game win the most. And for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Buck Podersky. I'm head of asset management and investments at Sterling Wealth Capital. We are a real estate investment firm primarily focused on buying multifamily in and around St. Pete, Florida. If you are an owner in the area, or you're a broker with a deal you want us to take a look at, feel free to email it to me. My email is in the description below. You can also feel free to email me with any asset management questions that you may have. I'm really just here to provide any type of value that I can. I plan to start posting these videos twice a week. I've yet to determine what that schedule will be. And at some point here in the near future, I'm also going to start a weekly newsletter letting you guys know what we have going on across our portfolio in Florida. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.